Okay.
Crack in here just a second. Oh no. What they got the Cardinals game on here and we're center fielder just let one past them. Hey everybody, happy what is tonight, Wednesday night? Getting ready to sit down with Danny. He's over in the Netherlands in the middle of the night recording with us. We're getting ready to record Monday's show, so grab a seat, grab a Coke Zero, and hang out with us as we get ready to do the show. Biggest thing is I got to figure out what number it is. Let's see. Where's the episode list?
Somewhere in the 2300s.
23. Let's see, because we already got Friday. It was 2339. Pairing things up around Walt Disney World. It says 2340.
Okay.
I scarfed down dinner way too fast, so I'm trying to fight that off. While I was slamming that, I was like, let's hurry so we get this. I knew because it's the middle of the night. I'm like, I just want to hurry so we get this done. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2340 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend, and it is back to school time here in many places around the United States. So all those teachers who are getting those classrooms ready and welcoming the students back, I wish you a very successful school year. And remember, you could make the difference in each and every child's future there in this classroom this year. So really push it hard there and get out there and just really embrace the challenge. And students, don't give your teacher a hard time. Come on now, give him or her a break. Take advantage of each opportunity you have this year. Your teacher's there to give you knowledge and to work with you. Stuart Scott once gave me a great quote. It's off to pull out here on a future show. I got to meet him. His mom was a teacher, and he gave me a great teacher quote. And the late, great Stuart Scott of ESPN fame. So we'll talk about that here on a future show. But wishing everybody a great school year. Everybody else who's not in education, let's make it a great week. But today we're going to do that by starting with a fun trip report. We have a great show today. Super excited for this because we're going international again today. We're headed over to the Netherlands. And we're going to speak with listener Danny. It's the middle of the night as we're recording this show. So we really, really appreciate it. Danny, thanks for coming on the show with us. We appreciate you coming on in the middle of the night. What's going on?
Hi, Mike. Everything good. Slept an hour before coming on the show and going to bed after we're done.
I promise I slammed my dinner as quick as I could to try to save you an extra 15 minutes. I ran home. I got this. I ate dinner real quick and we're recording it so we can get this and get you back out to bed. But I want to talk about your trip. But again, thanks for doing this. Let me start off here real quick because I got to get some information here. So you're over in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like being a Disney fan over in Europe? And how do you find yourself listening to Disney podcasts and making your way over to Walt Disney World?
That's a long story. It started with my dad, who showed us VHS tapes on lunch breaks from school with all the Disney cartoons on them. And then when I was 16, we went to Disneyland Paris for the first time. That's about a 5-hour drive from our home. And after that, I was hooked, and we went to Walt Disney or Florida the first time, and we did 2 days in Walt Disney World, and we did Universal and stuff. And I don't remember how many times I've been to Walt Disney World. That's how bad it is. I've been to Disneyland as well, and Hong Kong Disneyland. So I saw a lot of the Disney places.
Yeah. That's excellent. I can't believe that. You're very blessed to get to do that. That's super cool. So being over where you are in the Netherlands, I would imagine you're very much an outlier, around us, even in Missouri, we're 1,000 miles from Walt Disney World. And I think of it as far away, but, relatively speaking from where you are, we're relatively close. We always have people that we could bump into that have been to Walt Disney World. For you, do you see Disney referenced in the culture in the Netherlands and things like that? Or what's it like over there?
It's not really in the culture, but almost in every store you can find something Disney. It's being a plush or a book or a Blu-ray or something like that. And there are people who go to Walt Disney World. people like to go to the States because it was a couple of years ago. It was not that expensive because the dollar was weak, but it's not in the culture. But people like it. I'm on several Dutch Facebook groups who go to Walt Disney World and cruises and that kind of stuff. So it's not in the culture, but I'm not alone. Trust me.
That's cool. That's super cool. So let me ask you about those early trips, though. Is there something that stands out that you remember that maybe it's long gone, it's not there anymore, but you have a core memory from an early trip? Because you said they kind of blend together, but when you're younger and you go over on your first trip, your second trip, there's usually something that kind of just like stays with you. Is there something like that for you?
Yeah, and I thought about it because you asked this to other people as well.
I'm always curious because usually it's wild stuff. This is just how my brain works.
Now, in 2008, I went with my wife, and I don't have kids at the moment. And there was a pirates and princess party at that time, and it wasn't that popular. So the park was as empty as now the special expensive nights are. The ones. How do you, spotlights? How do you call them? The after-hour events, and it was wild with very obscure characters that were in the at the park, and you get beats in little at every station, and some free treats and scavenger hunts, and that was very nice to do. And it was very cheap. I looked it up; it was only $30 or so. But it was 2008, so a long time ago.
Somebody tonight probably just paid $159 to go to a Halloween party, and you just said $30.
I went to a Halloween party for $35 or $38. It's very wild. Sometimes I look in an old photo book and I see a picture of a card, and the prices are wild today. And if you compare it to 15 years ago.
Well, so. Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought up that pirate and princess party, because that was something that was a thing for folks that are not, that haven't been around in the fandom very long. It was a party at the Magic Kingdom that they held, and they held them at, during, obviously not during Halloween or Christmas, but they tried to have basically a Halloween or Christmas party. And I think they were like in April
and May. Yes.
Yeah, they were kind of in a slower period where they were trying to do another they're trying to force like another hard ticket season, and they were not popular.
They were not popular. Absolutely not.
So it was a great way to, like you said, get in there, low crowds, but they didn't last long either. So that's why not many people know of them. I remember that, but you mentioned that one of the greatest things they used to have, this was when I very first started going myself, because you mentioned like where you got something that you cannot believe it costs so little. They had something called e-ticket nights at the Magic Kingdom. And we just stumbled upon this one time on one of our very first trips, where you could go to the Magic Kingdom on select nights. We just happened to be at the Magic Kingdom. We had no idea what we were doing. I do nothing. This was before podcast, before the iPhone, before any of that stuff. Again, I'm old. I think I had a Bird Bombs guide, the old guidebook from the library is all I had. That was my one resource. And you could go to like City Hall, and they would sell you a wristband, like those little wristbands at the parties. And I think it was $6 or $8 a person. And you got to stay 3 extra hours after the park closed for like 12 major attractions. And they only sold very few of these things. You just walked on all these attractions for 3 hours. It was like $6 or $8 a person. It was the best money. People are like,
you ever spent? Yeah.
You're lying. I'm like, I promise you, we did this like 3 times. It was the best money ever. It's called E-Ride Night or E-Ticket Ride. I think it was E-Ride Nights, I think they were called.
It's not possible anymore. It's too busy for that.
Just be on social media, like, no. I mean, I just saw yesterday, there's that new restaurant at Epcot. It's got the $300 boat of sushi, that feeds.
Yeah, I saw it, yes.
that'd be 3 months worth of E-Ride Nights or something. So, yeah, things are expensive now. All right, so let me ask you about your trip that we're going to talk about tonight. So how did this trip come together, and when did you come over to the States?
We last year we tried to figure out what we're going to do for our holidays, and normally we do them in the summer, but the summer is a little bit more humid and a little bit more it's pricier. So my wife said, hey, the kids have 2 weeks off in May, let's go in May. So that's how it started, and I'm the planner of the family, so I'm going to look and book. And so we have a European Disney holiday site, and they tend to have specials for European people for longer stays. So we got 14 nights at Caribbean Beach for the price of 8. So that was a great deal. Yeah, that was a great deal. And we have, I have annual pass, but my family does not have an annual pass. So they have great ticket deals too. So 14-day tickets with all included. So with the water parks and with the miniature golf and with all the theme parks, of course. So that's how it started.
Wow. That is, man, 14 days for the price of 8. Shh, keep that quiet because we can't get that here in the States.
I don't know if the price per night is higher. Mike,
yeah, it might be. Let's go with it because all my guests will email me. We can't get that.
You can't get that. No, sometimes for friends in the States, I look if they have got a deal going on. But this was a very special deal. So
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about travel from, and let me just tell you. So at least you didn't come in July because you mentioned you didn't want to be in the heat, the humidity. I mean, it has been smoking hot over here.
I know. It's a heat index of 110 or something like that. It's unbelievable.
110, like at 10 o'clock at night. It was like 115. So how's travel though? Like flying over, do you have any tips for that? Because obviously it's all, you're coming across the, Atlantic Ocean, stuff like that. Any tips for folks that are international travel?
The most important tip is never forget your ESTA, because we don't have to do visa for the States, but we have to fill out the international form ESTA. It's a kind of visa, but never forget that. And don't type your passport number in wrong, because then you have to do it all over again at the airport with all the stress. And what we do is to try to look at airports nearby. So this time we flew on Tampa on the way in and Orlando International on the way out. But sometimes we go to the Sanford Airport because it saves you a couple of $100 to try another airport. So, and we always rent a car, so it doesn't matter. It's only 45 to an hour drive to Walt Disney World. So.
Yeah, Scott's actually been flying into Tampa sometimes himself.
It's very nice. It's very small airport, and it's very. It's well done, and you in and out in 10 minutes or so. So it's very, very fast. So I will do it in a heartbeat.
It's a good tip. Check, because everybody I think defaults to MCO, Orlando International, but
only the drive. You if you hate to drive, it's not. It's the I-75 and the I-4 are not the best roads to drive. It's after an hour you're there. So.
I drive everywhere. It doesn't bother me, but some people probably, if you're up from like New York and you don't have a car or something like that, you probably give you white knuckles, but it's just everyday life around here. Okay. So I got to ask you this. So you guys stayed at Caribbean Beach. Was it that you picked it because the deal was at Caribbean Beach, or was this your theme? I mean, there's 22 resorts to choose from. I'm always curious why people land on the resort that they pick.
Normally we stay off-site, but with the deal we thought we stay on-site, and we want to. We have 2 girls, and one is 14 and one almost 14, and one is 10, and they don't want to sleep in the same bed, so we needed the 5th sleeper. That was an important thing. And then you're going to look at the price, and I really would like the Skyliner at the resort. So we landed on Caribbean Beach that way. I like Pop Century as well. For the same reason, but they only have rooms with 2 double beds, 2 queens.
So I got to ask you this though, because you have 2 girls. And God bless you, because so do I. They're a little bit older, but how was 14 nights in a hotel room. Even, moderate room, it's still not that large. I mean, and your Walt Disney World's fun and everything, but I mean, did the walls start to close in there at about day 10, or, how'd that go?
No, not really. And because we had the fifth sleeper and we were in the newly refurbished rooms, and you can pull the bed down and put it up. So we had a little extra room in there, so that helped. And just be easy to each other, because even with your own spouse, you can have 14 days in the hotel. It can be a lot.
We've not vacations that long, and by the end, it just like we get back home and everybody retreats to like a different room of the house for like a day or two. Everybody needs a little.
That's the downside to it. But sometimes I go to the parks alone, or they go to swim alone, or something. But you have to give each other some space, and
right.
And I love to run, so I run around the resort, or I go to the main building to see what's going on, and they can do that as well. So. And we take it easy, so never a full day at the parks for those 14 days, because we had 14-day tickets, but it doesn't need to. We're not first timers, so you don't need to be there every day from 7 in the morning till 12 at night. So,
God, great advice. Yeah, great. Yeah. Both things. You don't have to be in the parks morning till night for 14 solid days, and everybody can kind of go their own way a little bit over the course of 2 weeks. If you try to stay together, you're going to drive each other crazy. Even though it is a family vacation, you're going to be together a lot. But just, some people can go swim, some people can go like get your run in. Caribbean Beach too, great place to run. I enjoy that, running past the Riviera over by the Skyliner station over there, around the lake.
I called it in the end of the vacation, it was the circle of doom, I call it, because I'm not used to running in circles. So.
See, I do that all the time. Well, now I just run on the treadmill, but I used to run on our little lake, and it's only a quarter of a mile loop. So I do that like 53 times every morning. So it was nice to only have to go around that like 12 or 15. So yeah,
I'm a little bit.
I'm a weird bird. So yeah, it was like, oh, this is a huge loop. Anyway, so let's talk about time in the theme parks. Let me just ask you real quick though. Out of the 4 theme parks, which one's your favorite?
That's difficult. I think Epcot.
Good call. Yeah. So where do you guys go? Do you have a tradition to go to a park first, or does it just matter? Do you have any traditions like that?
No, not really. But I'm the planner, so I look what's special in the period we go. And this time it was the end of the Earth Day celebrations. They were a week. And it was the first day we were there. It was the last day of those celebrations. So we went to Animal Kingdom first. But the only reason was because there were some special characters, and then we wanted to see them, and that's why we chose it. But there's not really a tradition like that. We try to end at Magic Kingdom always, but the first park day is never set in stone.
That's wonderful, because some people are really strict about that, and I used to kind of be always Magic Kingdom first and last.
Oh yeah, and I get that.
Now it doesn't really. It's kind of changed over the years. Like sometimes. Just like I'm tired that whatever park I was at last time. Well, the next morning, I just think I'm not going to a park today, and I just go home. It's like, I just slept in a little bit and went to the airport. So yeah, you mentioned it. When you're lucky enough to get to go more than you used to, because we used to only go once every year, once every couple of years, and then it was super. You didn't know if you were going back. Now I'm lucky. I know that I will get to go back because I have an annual pass. So things do change.
Things change, and
It's nice.
It's nice, and Animal Kingdom is beautiful too. Only it's always hot for my for my taste. So, and it feels a little hotter than the other parks. I don't know why it is, but it feels that way. But it's a beautiful park, and it's a great park to start. And because of the jet lag and the early the early entry for resort guests, we were up anyway, so we were way on time to go on Flight of Passage at 7:30 in the morning. So that was that's a great thing to do too, because we have a 6-hour time difference with Walt Disney World. So when we wake up there, it's always the middle of the night, at least the first couple of nights. So
That's how, when I went to Disneyland for the first time, I kind of had that too. And I was like, this is awesome. I mean, it's like 2 hours. It's like 2 hour difference. But I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I'd never done that. I was like, this is, I've never really traveled too much in my life, but I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I was like, let's roll.
Disneyland is even worse for us. It's 9 hours.
Yeah,
So
holy God, you're like almost a day ahead of me. You're like, oh my God, let's go.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. So now, did the whole family do flight of passage, or
my wife tends to
like?
My wife doesn't like it, so she doesn't do it. But I did it with my girls, and after that we did the river journey, and then there was a friend I met through Run Disney who was there his last day because he did Springtime Surprise and stayed another week, and we met up for the rest of the morning, so that was nice too. But we only my girls and I do it, but my wife gets nauseous on that thing, so she doesn't like it.
I'm with your
she
wife.
did it once or twice, but yeah,
I've done it a couple times. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. You have it with
Guardians.
With the Guardians, yeah, I heard it. Yes,
I can't. Tried it again in July with my family. 5 seconds in, I was like, nope, still
no.
Oh no, I don't like this. So you mentioned that you do run Disney races. You have Run Disney Friends. So do you do, just real quick? I'm just curious. Do you do all the races, or do you what races do you do?
Last year I only did Wine and Dine. I did Wine and Dine. This year I do Wine and Dine and Marathon Weekend. Nice. And people ask me if I want to come to a Springtime Surprise tour, but that's too much. Flying is really expensive. It's the most expensive part of the holiday, so I can't do that. But I ran twice this year for charity, both times. So yeah,
very cool. So what races you do it over marathon?
Dopey.
Ah, nice. I'll see you out there. Yeah. I can't. I almost said I can't wait. I actually can, because every year the marathon gets longer and longer, and like 26.2 like 8 years ago wasn't so painful. It is. I'm already dreading it.
You once said it, when you get used to being uncomfortable, and that's really what it is. So
it is.
Yeah.
But I'm getting worse and worse about taking my own advice. Like, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable is what I tell myself.
Yeah,
I'm tired. What I'm getting is tired of being uncomfortable. I understand the whole philosophy behind the dang thing, but unfortunately my good friend Wade here in Nebraska, he just texted this morning and he said he was on a Zoom call for work and he was messing around with the Run Disney website, and he registered for Goofy because he didn't think it would go through. The transaction went through. So
yeah, it was open for over 2 hours.
He said, yeah. So I was like, welcome to the pain, brother. Good. He's like, I didn't think it would go through. I'm like, well, now they got your money, so we'll see you out there on Saturday and Sunday. So we have another person out there running all those miles with us. Okay, let me ask you this though. So you mentioned your girls love Tron and Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Big hit because again, two of the newer attractions. So big hits for both.
Yeah, so they really like it, and we were lucky because the virtual queue was no pain at all at the time we went. So if we did, we decided to go in the afternoon. Guardians was still up for virtual queue in the evening at 4 o'clock or something like that. So they did it 4 times in the 14 days we were there. And the same with Tron, it was open for hours. Not a 7 o'clock window, but 1 o'clock window was open for hours. So they did it several times, even at night. So they loved it. And I go with them, but after the second time Guardians, I said, now I'm good. I don't hate it, but I get nauseous too a little bit. So it's a great attraction, but I'm getting old too, Mike. So.
I mean, we're getting wise with age, I think. I get it. It's an awesome attraction. It is.
Yeah, it's great.
One of the things. I mean, I've just never been great with spinning. I can't even do the teacups. The thing is, I can, but Mallory lies.
She's going to spin.
She lies because that's exactly it. I'm like, all right, I'll do it, but we're not spinning the cup. And then as soon as that thing goes, she's super strong because she's like a cheerleader that lifts all the girls. She's a base, so like she's always flipping the girl. She's got super strong like shoulders. So, I'm trying to fight her, and it's like it's brutal. It's terrible. she's mean. Anyway, so we talked about well, how about over at Epcot though? What are some of the highlights for you guys over there besides Guardians? Since we're
Now, what we did for the first time this year is the scavenger hunt in Epcot. Because if you go a lot, you try out different things. So you buy a card at one of the shops, and then you get a bunch of stickers, and you have to find for the Flower and Garden Festival this time. You have to find Spike the Bee throughout Epcot. And the nice thing is you go through the gardens and through the countries, and you look at it a different way. And in the end, you get a little prize. So we did that, and the girls really liked it because it was really a sport to find Spike. Most of the times it was very easy to spot him, but sometimes you get surprised where they put the little statue. So that was very nice to do. So it took us a couple of hours to finish that. So you really do something else at that moment. So it's something different than attractions or eating and drinking or shopping. That was really nice.
I agree.
Really nice too.
Adds to something to do as you're making your way around World Showcase and even up in Future World or what. I still haven't old dog new tricks. I can't remember the new names for
the new names. I get what you said.
We'll get it all these days. World Celebration, World whatever.
World Nature,
World Discovery. I will get it, but I won't get them right. I will be able to name them. I won't know which one's which. So we'll have that for years and years to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you guys have any find any interesting snacks during, I mean, it's already food and wine. I can't believe it's crazy that it is, but I mean, I guess it is almost September, but any good snacks during Flower and Garden?
My girls really like the pink drink at Starbucks, but that's not really Flower and Garden.
God, girls would get along with Mallory.
I think so. Yeah,
that pink drink. That is all she talks about. We have to have all the time. Pink drink.
Yeah, but we had the Belgian waffle there, the orange bird thing. So they had it was just a waffle, and they put a little chocolate thing on it from Orange Bird. So that was one special thing we had. Yeah, that was great. And it's a little expensive for a Belgian waffle, especially when you come from Europe and you can get them in the store here. But it was nice. Yeah, it's nice to try the kind of things and take pictures and eat them and sit a little. So that's nice to do. I think that's the only special snack we had. I think we had a drink somewhere with honey, but I don't know what it exactly was. But it could be it was 2 years ago. But
it could be old news.
Yeah, they had a special. I think it was this year. They had a special cup with the Orange Bird sipper you get with it. I think it was a special drink, so we did that too. So those two things we really we tend to enjoy those things.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so you got to meet. This is one of the things I thought it was going to be more prominent than it is. And it was Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian over at the studios. And you got to meet Grogu, or I think that's how you pronounce his name, because I haven't seen the Mandalorian in like over a year. So you got to meet Grogu and got to see Fantasmic for the very first time. So it sounds like you had a good time over at the studios.
Yeah, we saw Fantasmic before, but the new Fantasmic was for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
Baby Yoda was really a thing because I asked a friend how it works, and there is not really a schedule for him. So he tends to come out at certain times, but it's not a guarantee, and he's not on a map or something like that. So once you see a bunch of people standing in front of a door in Galaxy's Edge, you know that he's coming. But it was really they did a good job with Baby Grogu. So it was really good what they did, and it was nice to meet. But it's like a Disneyland meet, but with a lot of more people around it because it's very popular. If he comes out, it's very difficult to get a good picture. But it was nice to see what they did and how they managed to do that. I don't know how they do it, but it's very nice that he's in a little bag at his shoulder and hanging in front of him, and it's moving and making little noises, and it's very it's a very nice extra they had at studios. And that day we did Fantasmic as well, and I really enjoyed the new show, especially the Moana part. I think it's very beautiful that she comes out on the water, and they did a really good job adding extra features there. Because sometimes I love Fantasmic, especially the music, but sometimes it was very long and it goes by very quick now because of all the things they added. So
I agree. They brought it up into the current times where it's not like you have a little. In as much as I used to love Illuminations, there was a little section there where people would look down. I would even do it and check my phone real quick. Okay, this is a lull for about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, now it's going to pick up in pace again towards the end, and it's going to be exciting. They've sensed that with Fantasmic and took out a little piece there, updated it, Moana, current movies, and it's awesome. And everything's like more vivid now. It's super bright.
Yeah, it's bright. Yeah, and I like the screens, but the screens went on for 10, 15 minutes. That was my feeling at least. And now they're shorter sections, so it goes by quicker. There's more to see, and it's exactly what you say. It's same with Illuminations. When the globe came out, then people did something else. Oh, there was fireworks again.
You see it right do it. I was terrible. I did it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're back.
We're back.
I loved Illuminations, but it was that one the music would slow down. Everybody back. Okay.
But the current show we saw it too, Epcot Forever, but I don't like it at all. It's the music is nice, but it cannot stand in the shadow of Illuminations. So I hope they update it soon because
I keep seeing pictures of like barges and they're putting pilings in, so they're doing something.
Yeah, they're doing something. They're busy.
I like what Disney's doing this time, though. They're not saying stuff, which is fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Last time they just built it all up and it all blew up. So let's don't do that.
Yeah, that's the same with, they say Figment is coming back to meet and greet, but sometime this year. But they announce it and then you hear nothing for a year or so, and then everybody's wondering if it's ever happening. So I'm with you. Just do something and say it when it's done. So.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't need to know every detail. Just like when the fireworks show's ready, just bring it out and let's see it. You don't have to give me all the details because everybody's going to be nitpicking it from here to then, and then I'll be disappointed before I even see it because everybody will be making me mad on social media. Just make the thing and let's have fun with it. Let's just enjoy things. That's
absolutely.
So, okay. I have to ask you this because you're an international guest and I'm always intrigued by this, the shopping deal. You mentioned you guys went to Disney Springs, but you also endured the outlets. Oh my God. God bless you.
I put this in for you. So we can talk about it again.
Oh my God, those outlets, man, that if I ever die and don't go the right way in the afterlife and end up at the Vineyard or Vineland outlets or something, I promise you that I cannot take it. But I mean, different strokes for different folks. So how'd it go for you guys?
I'm not really a shopper too, Mike, but my 14-year-old really is. So, and there are some good deals for us Europeans. So if I buy a Tommy Hilfiger polo shirt here, it's about $110, and you can buy it there for $40. So you save a lot of money to do that. Yeah. So that's we try to do it and. And when I'm done, I'll go with my youngest, and we're going to sit and eat an ice cream. and my wife and my oldest go.
I can go with you too. I'll just tag with you guys.
But the Disney store has some good deals sometimes. Not always. I don't like everything, but sometimes there are good deals there, and we browse that, and it's nice. It saves a lot of money. I like Converse shoes, and those are really expensive here. So I always buy 2 pairs. But for me, it's going into the store, take 2 pairs, pay, and go out. I know what I want, and then I'm done.
I like going in and know what I want. Like, boom. But I don't shop, I buy. Like, I look online. Most of the time, I just buy it online. Just have it. I'd rather just have it come to the front porch. But if I am going to go, because we have outlet malls, 5 minutes down the road so I can go to the outlet and my wife and daughters, they can be there for 2 hours because they can root through everything. I'm just like, I'll go to the 12s. Like, I'll just be like, Close enough.
My,
Boom,
my,
bottom, and I'm out like 5 minutes. Like,
my young, I was with the youngest at the store, and there was a place where you could sit, and she said to me, Dad, there are only men sitting here.
I just didn't stop. I buy.
Yeah. So but it was a time. It's not now, but there was a time that we have euros and not dollars, obviously, and there was a time that the dollar was that weak that €1 was $1.60. So when we went to the outlets in that time, that was 12 years ago, during the recession here. It was cheap. So for us, that it's not that anymore because it's now even. But when it was that, then shopping was really good in the States.
Oh yeah, it's like playing with Monopoly money. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let me ask you about because I want to make sure we get all this in though. You guys did some nice dining. You did Topolino's. You did Boma. So give us a couple of quick reviews on those meals.
When I'm lucky because when we were for 14 days, and you can book restaurants or ADRs 60 days out plus the whole length of stay up to 10 days. So it was not difficult for me to book Topolino's because nobody goes 10 days.
I know you had the ultimate hack. I said you had a 14-night stay.
So Topolino's is really nice because it's a character meal, but it's not as loud as Hollywood and Vine or other character meals because it's really spaced out. You pay for it. That's the downside, but it's really spaced out. So you get nice pictures with the characters in special costumes, and the food is great too. So you can eat as much as you can, but we only need one entree and then we're full. But the food is really good, and I really like the French toast there. It's really good to eat there, and we had a lot of fun. And you can, after you're done, you go out to the deck and you can see all Walt Disney World from the terrace. So that's beautiful too. That's if you ever go there, always go outside because the view from there you never get anywhere else for overall Disney World.
Yeah, I feel bad for anybody that goes up there and doesn't take advantage of the terrace to go out and get a picture, with your family, with significant other, whoever you're with, because it is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and you can see everything from Walt Disney World. Yeah. So you can see it's really beautiful, and especially if you have a clear day, then it's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
It is. So how was Boma? I've been to Boma since New Year's Eve, probably 5 years ago, for dinner. You met me for breakfast.
Yeah, I went for breakfast, and we wanted to do something else. We try to do something else every time we go, and so that's getting more difficult every time. And we never went to Boma, so I heard on your podcast some good reviews. So I thought, let's give it a try. And it's fantastic. I think it's the best breakfast on property. I think they have so much choice, something for everything, for kids, for adults, and savory and sweet. And I really liked it. But I think I was 4 pounds heavier when I left that building.
And that's why we run, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason we run. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So, I don't know. Did they have a signature dish at the Boma? But I forget what it was. But it was the bread pudding. The bread pudding, and I ate too much of that. I had a stomach ache for the rest of the day. It was so good. Yeah.
That'll get you.
It gets you. Yeah, absolutely. And it's heavy on the stomach too. So
I mean, I've also watched my brother Scotty. We did Crystal Palace in July, and he had a thing of ice cream that was 18 inches tall. So after a full breakfast, I mean, people were craning their necks as he was walking from the ice cream machine back to our table. Every person, like, it was oh my God, it was. I mean, I've seen funny stuff from like the Streetmosphere characters at the studios. I talked about on a show on Wednesday about I saw at Indiana Jones, John Pelkey get knocked out, and I thought he was a real guy, like from the audience. I've seen some funny stuff at Walt Disney World. That day with Scott was in my top 3 things I've ever seen that was funny at Walt Disney World because he was carrying that ice cream proud like a proud papa, like he was bringing in a newborn child from the ice cream machine all the way across Crystal Palace. Proud as anything of that ice cream. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, this guy's got the biggest ice cream
ever."
It was defying the laws of physics how tall he got it stacked. It was, I mean, unbelievable. Anyway,
And did he finish it? This is the
Oh,
big
he
question.
did. I told him he got like 3/4 of the way. He's like, dude, I can't do it. I'm like, you are a quitter. You said you were going to finish that, and he did because I gave him a hard time. I almost killed the guy.
Yeah.
That's what good friends do, though, right? He's almost
Absolutely.
many times. Okay, so one of the other things I want to get to real quick is that you guys you took advantage. You were there a long time, so you got to do some of the resort stuff, and you guys made s'mores back at Caribbean Beach, which I think is super cool because I bet there's a lot of guests that don't know you can do things like this back at your hotel.
Yeah, they have a lot of nice activities, especially for kids, but also for adults. And one of the things is every night you can make s'mores. So you go to the place and then they give you a stick and you can roast some s'mores. So it's really nice to do. And the fun thing is all the kids come to play together, even though my kids speak English, but it's not their native language, of course. But yeah, they get play around, and it's very nice and relaxed for the parents too. So you can have a little chat with somebody else, and it was really nice to do. So it took us over an hour, and yeah, they made friends, and we had nice talks, and it's very fun to do. So always, if you have the time, do something at your resort because there are good things to do. It's really nice to do.
I can imagine how neat that would be too. Like I could imagine, when my girls were younger, if we were hanging out at Caribbean Beach and, your family was there, my family was there, and we're just all making s'mores. There's a bunch of families. It'd be super cool for my girls to get to meet your girls from the Netherlands and just get to talk to them because, how cool is that to have to talk to somebody from a different part of the world? I mean, you're not going to become best friends, but
you're friends for an hour, and then you have some funny story to tell, a nice story. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, they talk about it. That's the funny thing is you say it all the time, but this is something they talk about. No, not all the time, but they talk about it a lot. That they did this, but because it's really American. Making s'mores is not something European. It's really an American thing. So. That's funny. They really liked it, so it was nice to do.
It's very much a Rallman thing, by the way, because we have a fire pit, and my wife loves, and so do my daughters. I could take or leave s'mores, to be honest, but my girls love s'mores, and we have a fire pit about 5 feet outside that wall on our patio, and it's almost fall here, so we'll be
making s'mores all the time.
Once football starts, it'll be s'mores central around here, so we'll have to send them over. Okay, last thing, because we're almost out of time here, but I love how you wrapped up your trip. You mentioned this kind of the last bullet point of your notes that you sent me, kind of your last hurrah at the Magic Kingdom as you close it out. I thought that this is almost perfect because it's really what a long vacation kind of. It seems like this would be the great way to wrap things up. So you want to share that with us?
Yeah, the last night we went to Magic Kingdom, and my family's really familiar in Magic Kingdom, so we know our way. And the girls asked us, "Can we go by ourselves? So can we roam around Magic Kingdom by ourselves?" And we've thought about it, and I think it's safe enough to do that. So. Let's stay in contact, but do what you like. And we're over here, so we're sitting behind the castle and eating an ice cream and some drinks and look at people. And they roamed around Magic Kingdom, and then my phone started to buzz, and I saw they took a photo pass picture somewhere, and they rode Tron, and they did the teacups and Buzz Lightyear and Space Mountain, and we were just sitting there and watching fireworks from behind the castle and looking at people and had a nice night. So that was really fun to do. So and they really liked that that we trusted them to go by themselves and make their own evening. So there was it is a good memory to have. Yeah, absolutely.
I love hearing that because you got to have a little quiet time with your wife, but you also, I think those girls are going to remember that night or that, that 3-hour period forever because they got a little taste of freedom and they got to make those core memories with each other. It's a big deal to get to hang out with just your sister, for a little bit. I could imagine the fun that they had. I mean,
Yeah, and especially
that's a big deal. That's like a coming of age thing.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they said, oh, let's take a photo press picture. Look, and we're gonna watch it if Daddy sees it. So they made they really were they know what they did. So it's really fun to do. So I would do that again in a heartbeat because they know their way and they love Walt Disney World, and it's just fun for them that they can decide where to go. And not that I'm always saying you have to go left or right, but now they have a real taste of freedom over there. So
be careful once those girls get that freedom, boy. Never.
I know my 14-year-old is never home, so
I know. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
My oldest just buzzed through. She was in Mexico with her basketball staff for a few days. Had a connection through St. Louis. So she crashed here for a few days, ate the groceries, did some laundry, and back
and went away.
Exactly. She's out of here. So she had to see her dog. So I don't know if she wanted to stop in to see us, but she wanted to see Riley the dog. So you take what you can get as a parent, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But Danny, thank you so much for staying up so late. What a wonderful opportunity for our listeners and for myself. I'm honored to have you on the show, and I can't wait to get to see you down at Marathon Weekend. It's going to be a real honor to get to talk to you in person. And until then, you guys have great training, and thanks again for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I hope it went well, because what I said to you before, English is not my native language, but I try to do my best. And I hope to see you in January as well, because that would be really nice.
Your English is better than mine, so we're all good. All right. Have a good one. All right, don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. The agents are standing by right now to help you plan a great Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip for no additional cost to you over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys make all these shows possible. So thank you so very much for that. Our patrons get a bonus show every week as well. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So if you'd like to support us starting at just $5 a month, come on over patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Also, you can join us on Sunday night. We'll have a live call-in show. Scott joins me, and we take your calls for an hour. So call in, talk Disney with us right then. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Give us a yell on those locations. And give me a follow on social media. I'm at BeOurGuestMike, Twitter or X, whatever it's called right now. Facebook, Instagram. I'd love to talk to you this week. So give me a follow over there and let's connect. All right, we're going to jump out of here and let Danny get some Z's, and I'm going to jump out here and edit this show and get it out there for your feed so you have something to listen to here on a Monday. So for Danny, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Never fails. As soon as I start recording the show, one of my neighbors starts cutting the grass. Every time. I'm just like, no. Fortunately, the mic doesn't pick up too much of it, but every time I need to cut mine. But
do you have the line you say at the beginning and the end? Do you know it by heart?
Oh yeah, my wife could poke me at like 3 in the morning, and I could just the ball game and just say, yeah. Half the time, like, because if I stop, that's like if something happens and like I pause or think about something else, then I'm like, oh crap,
what's the line?
Oh no! I thought you just fell out of your chair.
No.
I didn't know the phone fell. I thought you fell. No, that's it's been too many shows at this point that it's it's sad. If anything ever changes, I'm out of luck.
Yeah, I know. What I love about this show is that you guys have habits, and I recognize that. You're a Coke Zero drinker. I drink Coke Zero. It's all I do, drink Coke Zero. So we have, everything stays the same. It's not good to be love Disney because they change everything. But, yeah.
I know. So I went and got my new glasses this afternoon, and I had to special order the exact same frame. So I go in, they check them on you. She's like, so I take the ones off, and she's like, so she can't. So I sit them down, and she's looking. Wait, I'm like, yeah, I got the exact same frame. These are the new ones over here on the left. That's how you put them down. okay. She's like, you don't like change, do you? I'm like, you have no idea. But I put these on. I'm like, oh yeah, these are the new ones because it's like HD right now. So I'm like, we're all good.
Oh, great.
Now, so
How many listeners do you have, Mike? I was very curious. Do you know that?
Actually, so
How many?
Over 10,000 download.
Wow.
So like on the initial hit. So it's always over 10,000 like the first day.
That's wild. Yeah, that's nice.
So it's pretty cool, and they're from everywhere. I mean, Japan, Australia, Europe, a lot of UK listeners, Canada. I mean, obviously we have a majority in the States, but it's because we get a geographical map of where they're hitting.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I'll even have people in the Middle East, and a lot of times it might be like soldiers that are deployed, but
it's a nice thing. It's always positive. That's what I like, because it's you know the Rise and Run podcast. I think you went on it once. They have the same vibe. Just be positive among friends and just fun, and that's what I like about it. So I really enjoy it.
That. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like if you can't have fun with it, and I wouldn't do it if I was just going to be negative, because there's enough negative out there. Like if you want to
absolutely,
go on the internet, you can find it so quick, or you can find it on the radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
more of that. Yeah.
And you just fun talks, and that's nice. And if you want the news, or you want somebody's take on the news, even if it's Walt Disney World or real news, doesn't matter. You have a lot of different places. So that's why you're different. So that's nice.
Yeah, we just try to get together like friends and just talk.
Yeah.
We'll just try to 35 minutes of escape and check back in. And if you need it today, it's there on your phone. If you don't, delete it. And we'll be there when you're ready. That's why.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes I miss because it's a lot. Then you can't always listen. I most of the times I listen when I walk. So one day I run and the other day I walk. So running is I never have something on, but walking I always have a podcast on.
Well, I appreciate it. That means so much to me that you listen over there. That's so cool. And I am super excited to get to meet you in January. So make sure you hunt me down, because I'm easier to find. I'm super tall, and I'll have the break.
Absolutely. I would love to. It's a shame you're not there at Wine and Dine, but is Scott there at Wine and Dine? I love Scott too. He doesn't know I love him.
I think he will be. I think he is. I'm not doing it because of football, because my Mallory's cheerleading and she has a big game that weekend. So
I get that. As a dad, you want to be there.
So I know I had to turn down a Disney cruise for free because
okay.
I know, because it's homecoming. Pam asked me, she's like, you can go on a Disney cruise for free. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, I want to go. So she gave me the date. I'm like, oh, it's homecoming for Mallory's school. I can't go. And it just killed me because I got to go on the Wish. I was like, oh, I love cruising, but dang, can't do it.
You can do everything. Yeah, there's a lot of hype here about the sororities in the States, about the Alabama Rush. Do you get anything over there? Is it only?
Mallory watches that stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff. I know that it's a big deal, but I've never seen it.
There is a documentary at HBO Max, and there's a lot of. But she's not old enough to go to. No, she's 16.
High school. Now I'm in trouble with that in a couple of years, because now see, Paige, her older daughter, had wanted nothing to do with that kind of stuff. Mallory will.
Yeah, I know, because she's a cheerleader, and if I look at the girls and I see pictures of your daughter, I think,
it's bad. I know, like I'm already worried about that, because she wants to go like to Alabama or one of those schools, or Tennessee or Ole Miss, all those schools like that. Oh my God. I try not to think about it. I'm just like, I got like 2 years left, and then
enjoy the time. Yeah.
I'm just like, I dodged it on. Paige just like was serious about school, wanted to become a doc, she would be like a doc. She has a degree in biochemistry, but she's running a basketball team now, which is totally wild that she took that degree and did that. But it's one of those things, like I didn't have to worry about that with her. She wasn't into that kind of stuff. But Mallory, man, this is going to be a battle. So I'm going to have my hair for another couple of years, and that'll be it. So
you always wear a hat, so
it's going to be bad. Oh, I'm going to gain 10 years in like the next 2. I just know it's coming, because she's already like about the cars and stuff. I'm like, Mallory, you're 15. You can't get a license till you're 16. You don't need a car till you're 16. Like I didn't have a
But
car till I was like 17. Like I just drove my dad's pickup.
Yeah, here it's totally different. You can get now we changed it to 17 and a half. Then you could drive a car on your own, but you have to take lessons. And I can teach my girls. They have to go to a special driver school, and we have to pay for 30 lessons or so, and then she has to take an exam before they even get a license. So it's very difficult to get a license here.
See, that's how it is up where Scott lives.
Okay.
But in our state, we can teach our own kids. And so we've taught Mallory, she drives with us. She can drive with us. She has a permit, so she can drive around with us in the car.
No exam or whatsoever?
Just drive. Yeah, to get her license, she'll have to take an exam, but it's not hard to pass. And so she'll have her license on her 16th birthday. Probably no problem, because she's already passed the written part.
Okay. Oh yeah. We have to do that too.
Yeah.
So,
but oh my God, it's just it's a nightmare. They grow up too fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice, but on the other hand, I'm not a baby or a little kid is funny, but when it's done, you're ready for that too. So
yeah, seriously, I was not. Yeah, I wasn't good at changing diapers or anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and now you can sleep. At least you can. You're not awake because they're crying, but now you're awake because you want to know where they at.
100%.
I don't. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I want to keep you, but definitely, if you need anything, shoot me an email between now and then. It's super nice to meet you, and I'm glad we're friends. And but definitely January, maybe we can catch a Coke Zero, or maybe catch a meal or something. That'd be great.
Oh no, it would be nice. That would be great. In November, I'm on my own, but in January, when I ran my first marathon, I hope to do that at least. Then my dad and my mother and the family is there, so that's nice. But I would love to do that. Would be great.
Cool. That'd be great. I'd love to meet everybody. That'd be awesome. But if not, we could just hang out in the corrals. But yeah, definitely look me up. We'll have to catch up.
Great.
All right, well, take care and tell the
have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks, Danny. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.